All right. Hello, everybody. We are here. I have my friend Travis. Travis and I did a video about a year ago, literally a year ago. So we have got to catch up a little bit, and Travis is doing some amazing things. Everybody, whenever you guys see this, make sure you put in the chat where you are watching from. And Travis, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do?
Sure. So I'll kick it off. I am a person in recovery. I've been in recovery since October 30th of 2013. So closing in on 10 years. Yeah, I'm also a best-selling author of the recovery memoir, My Life with Karma. I also write for Recovery Today magazine, and then I'm a CCAR certified recovery coach. So lots of recovery in my life.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what is a CCAR? What's up, Dino? What does a CCAR certified mean?
So basically, it's a program that started in Connecticut, and it's just essentially a cert that you can get to say, okay, I've taken this program, I understand a little more about recovery, and I want to share that knowledge. I mean, it was great. It really helped kind of enhance my understanding of what it means to be in recovery and
Mhm.
to how to treat people that are in recovery without a stigma, without, kind of some of the things that we see in society that are not necessarily great for someone's recovery.
Absolutely. We need more people like that.
Yeah, for sure.
With that message for sure because I feel like there's so much stigmatizing language out there in the, especially in like the 12 step rooms and things like that. And really just being able to be like person first, right? And knowing like people have different situations and just being able to like walk with people through those situations. So let's go back just a little bit. So I remember from our first interview, you were in law enforcement, yes?
I was. So I did dignitary protection for one of Wisconsin's governors. I worked for the Wisconsin State Capitol Police and then for the UW Madison Police.
So, okay, Wisconsin, that's where your accent is from.
Yeah, it is. Yup.
I was trying to figure that out. I'm like, that doesn't sound like Connecticut.
No, definitely not.
Okay, awesome. So when you were doing this, you had, if I remember correctly, you had an accident or something or injury. Was it a sports injury?
So yeah, so I was really big into powerlifting and I hurt my back. I herniated two discs and then I re-injured it at work. And essentially I ended up getting prescribed Oxycontin for my injury. Basically I did okay on the Oxy for the first 30 days, but after that I was hooked. And they re-upped my prescription to 90 days. So that's really when it set its claws in and everything got really bad for me.
Okay, so tell me what year that was.
That would have been 2011, 2012.
Okay, so that was a little bit after like all the pill mill stuff, right? Because like
Yep,
that's
exactly.
yeah, because I think that stuff kind of kicked off like 2006, 2007, 2008. And so yeah, so you were like a little bit in like the later part of like the pill mill stuff. So was your doctor like was he like prescribing you like per your pain because you were requesting, or was he just like shoving it out there?
No, so basically what I did, we were experiencing protests in Wisconsin at the time, so I was working like 16-hour days. So I ended up going to a walk-in, and basically the doctor just like right away was like, "Oh yeah, kick the oxy, here you go," and then gave me, I think, trazodone for sleep and a Dodolac, so a muscle relaxant too. And so
Okay.
I was taking, yeah, so I was taking three things consistently.
Travis, they had you like tranked out.
Yeah, basically.
You're like a walking zombie.
Oh, for sure. And then the
Um,
worst part was I was caffeinating so hard to try to counter that. So it was basically like I was doing an 8 ball in my own like version of it.
You're like speedballing, like Red Bull C4 with trazodone, like walking in like
Yep.
delusional like craziness. Oh my goodness, you were in dreamland. How are you protecting the governor?
That's a wonderful question. I mean, honestly, I was a warm body at that point in time, like not much more. So
Right. And so did you ever have any kind of like dangerous thing happen where you had to like jump in front of like somebody or like jump on somebody or anything like that?
not. I wish I had a cool story like that. I really don't. Like most of what I did was overnights. So I was literally at their mansion while they slept, and that was pretty much, yeah,
You were like the
the highlight.
babysitter.
Yeah, yup. I mean, I got to make the governor coffee in the morning, so
That was
there's that.
cool.
Yeah, yeah.
That was cool. Okay. We could talk about some scandalous stories with governors, but we're not going to right now. let's get
Gotcha.
on to let's get on to so what happened? What happened with the job?
So basically, I mean, I had a house, I had a mortgage, a wife at the time, she had a horse, and I eventually ended up getting cut off on my script, and I started getting pain meds through a guy at the gym. And he was into steroids, and he's like, "Yeah, I can get you pain meds too." So I was pretty much taking whatever I could. Eventually, that led to some vet grade stuff out of Canada, and I was buying 600 pills at a time. So I was taking,
Really? From
yeah,
from Canada? Like you were getting them like shipped to you?
yeah, yeah. So I actually shipped to him
Or
and then
like
given to me.
you had like the a hookup from Canada?
Yeah, exactly. So
So I do know in the athletic world, there is pretty much like a kind of open market as far as you know what I mean, things that you need like and that you can get in the in the weightlifting world.
yeah, exactly. I mean, it wasn't hard to find. Like, I basically had one conversation and was like, all right, now I'm hooked up.
Right. And so you were taking that plus your prescription.
Yeah, until I got cut off. Yes.
Okay. So, when did you figure out like, hey, this might be a problem?
I would say it was during that second period of the prescription, that 90 days. That's when things started to get sketchy. Like I realized I was clock watching, I was blowing through my script, like basically taking pills every 1 to 2 hours instead of every 3 to 4, things like that.
Mhm.
And that's, I mean, and then I was lying about it on top of it.
Yeah,
So that's when I initially, yeah, that's when I initially thought, okay, there's an issue here.
right.
Um,
Like I'm counting the minutes till my next dose. There could be a problem.
yeah, exactly, right. So, and then I realized things got really bad when I resorted to horse bute, which is essentially like horse aspirin. I was taking 1/5 of a dose that they give a horse. And that's when I was like, all right, yeah, there's an issue here.
Okay, so I've never heard of that before. So tell me, what is horse bute? Like, what is that made? What is it made out of? Is it like narcotic?
No, I don't think so. I know it's prescribed through a vet. And basically, like, I would dumpster dive at my wife's, like, where she had her horse boarded to get these tubes of horse bute and then take what was ever left.
Wow.
And yeah, exactly. That was like before I hit rock bottom, but pretty close.
So what did it do to you?
Honestly, not too much. Like it tore up my stomach, but it gave me that feeling of like actually taking something. Like I'm like, okay, I'm putting this into my body. I think it's helping. I'm not exactly sure, but I'm taking something. So
Right.
that's what I was hooked on.
Wow. Okay. So that's very interesting. Um so you were taking that. So did you have to go to the hospital to like get for like stomach issues and like liver issues?
I probably should have. I didn't. Yeah, like I got to the point I had bleeding ulcers. It
Ooh.
was just, yeah, it was really nasty. And through the whole time, I just kept going to work and then going to the gym and acting like I was okay when I truly wasn't okay.
Wow. Yeah, I remember like when I was like, got to that point like doing stuff, I would like, use somebody else's like needle and just like pray over it like God please sanitize this needle. I bleed the blood over this, like and
Yeah.
you just keep going. Like it doesn't even, it just it's just like it's so
I know.
interesting.
Yeah, I mean, essentially, we get locked in these cycles, right? And
Right.
once you're in it, you don't really think about it. You're just fixated on when's the next time I can pick up, when's the next time I can use, how am I going to get through my day? For me, it was how am I going to manage this pain, and that was about it.
And okay, so somebody says, see, my brother's girlfriend, hi Lucille, my brother's girlfriend had a horse farm and they used to use Special K. It was a liquid for horses. Did you ever have any of that?
No, not that I know of, no. So I'm
Okay.
aware of that, but no, I never picked that up.
Never had that. Been like in a K hole.
No.
I've done that in like the rave world or whatever. I used to have this guy, and he would get these like liquid bottles and then like blow dry it into like powder and then like sell it or whatever or sniff it. I don't know. It always made me feel weird.
Gotcha.
um, it was definitely not my jam. What's up, April? So okay. So how did you get into recovery?
So essentially, I got sober in jail. Eventually, I got caught. I was stealing to pay for the pills, is really what it came down to. And one day I walked into work and got called into the sergeant's office, and they laid down a folder about this thick and just said, "Look, we know you've been stealing from the gym that you work out at. And basically we know everything." And I was like, okay, great. What do you have to say for yourself? And I'm like, I need an attorney. They promptly took yeah,
Nothing. I'm
yeah,
saying nothing.
exactly. So they promptly took me to jail, booked me. I got booked and released the same day, but I was facing, I think, 14 misdemeanors at the time. Um,
Ooh,
yeah, so basically, because was stealing credit card information, so everyone came with two charges. One was false representation, and I forget what the other charge was, some kind of theft. But yeah, so I had 14 misdemeanors, lost my job, and ended up going to jail for 7 months.
wow. Okay.
Yep.
So you got caught stealing from the gym. Okay, I thought you were gonna say you got caught stealing from like the governor.
Oh
I was
no,
like,
no,
no.
there's actually another story about that, but
Oh my goodness.
yeah,
You got in trouble for that too?
yeah, I did. I did. There was a painting, and when the governor was moving out of the mansion, they were basically purging, getting rid of all sorts of like promotional stuff, t-shirts, all kinds of stuff. And in the pile of these posters, there was a painting. So I was like, okay, my mom's an art teacher. I looked at it, looked at the frame. I'm like, this is cool. I can probably do something with this. Ended up taking it, throwing it in the back of my car, and years later it came up missing from inventory.
Oh.
Yeah, and I was like, look, they made it sound like when that I took it off the wall, and I tried to explain, and basically, you know how it goes. Once you have the strikes against you, like you're kind of screwed. So I ended up pleading out to that one for a lesser charge, but I had already started a new life. I was living in Arizona at the time. I had to move back to Wisconsin, had to serve time here. It was just a mess.
Oh my goodness. And that's so crazy from going to like one side of the jail cell to the other.
Oh, I know, right?
That's probably a pretty humbling experience, you know?
Yeah, and it was the same county that I worked in too. So,
Oh god.
like, yeah, I was so afraid I was going to see people that I knew. Like,
Mhm.
or the other thing too, from working special events and stuff like that, like I knew a lot of the guys that worked at the jail, And I'm just like, please do not acknowledge me. Like, my life will be hell. Like,
Yeah,
just pretend you don't know me.
right.
So,
Like,
yeah.
yeah. Oh my goodness. That's that is wild. That is scary for sure. Was it like a big jail or like prison or was it like small?
It's a pretty big jail. It's one of the largest counties in Wisconsin. So yeah, I think there were 40 some people in our pod, and I'm not sure how many pods are in the jail, but
Wow. So, was that like your wake up call where you're like, okay, I need to get my shit together?
For the most part, yes. Like, and I did get my shit together for about 7, 8 months, after I got out. And then one night, in my infinite wisdom, I decided I could go out drinking. And basically, I ended up going out and I suffered a traumatic brain injury. I got into an altercation after I crashed my car on the way home and was actually beaten with a Maglite flashlight. So this whole side of my face is actually titanium. I don't know if you can see the scar right there, but that's where they put the plates in. And then, yeah, it's so, and then I ended up going back to jail because I was on probation and I was drinking. So I ended up
Mm.
recovering from a traumatic brain injury in jail.
Oh my goodness, Travis, that is like that's very traumatic. Like that's like double trauma. So, what
Yeah.
kind of like setup did they have you in the jail?
Well, I wasn't fit for general population, and
Right.
the jail doesn't have a medical wing. So I was actually put into solitary confinement. So I
Mm,
went right basically from the hospital into jail into solitary confinement for, I believe, 9 days before I could see out of my left eye, and they said I was fit to join general pop.
you're like, yay, great. Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
So
exactly, right?
that's pretty wild. So then so did you got out on probation again, I'm assuming, on paper again?
No, no. So my probation got revoked, and I ended up. Well, so I did get out on paper. I ended up ending doing 4 years on paper. So
Oh,
it's
wow.
like, yeah, it was a long, long time.
Wow. And then with the injury, did you have any kind of like rehabilitation?
Not while I was in jail. I did all my own PT. I actually had to teach myself to write again, and couldn't for a while. I couldn't speak. I had aphasia, so the same thing like I would get stuck on words
Mm,
and basically just couldn't get them out of my mouth. So it took multiple sentences without getting stuck on words.
wow. Um, okay. And so when you got out, you decided for career change?
Yeah, I mean, I had to change my career. Like, that was my career was blown up. It was done. Basically, I ended up going into an IOP program, so intensive outpatient, and that's how I started my sobriety journey, was through IOP and just one-on-one counseling, and then going to AA on the weekends.
Mm. So, so you worked a 12 step and counseling. Did you do like trauma therapy for the
Sorry, it cut
stuff
out
that
for a second. I hope you're still with me.
yes. Did you do like trauma therapy at all? Can you hear
I
me?
probably should have. No, I didn't.
Okay. Okay.
I
So
can now, yes.
okay, Lucille said you're a miracle. um so
I saw
okay.
that. That's really sweet of her. Thank you.
Lucille is awesome. She's awesome. Rebecca is awesome. April is awesome. Red Scout is on here. He's interesting fella, but we love him anyway. Part of our community. Can you see the comments or no?
Yeah, they're on delay, but I can see them.
Oh, okay. So what made you want to get into working with other people in recovery?
Oh man, I just figured like after I wrote my book, I had so many people reach out and people that needed help, people that I saw myself in and could relate to. And I was like, okay, I want to be able to better assist these people. How can I do it? And that's when I decided to become a recovery coach.
Awesome. So, Martin from Dublin, Ireland, glad that you are on here, friend. So was there anything like specifically that you specialized in?
What do you mean by that? Like in
Like
terms of
was
specialized in
like for me when I work with people, I generally work with like women, moms, um people who have gone through like sex trafficking or prostitution. Like did you work with like specific like athletes in recovery or just like men in general or just like anything specific?
Got you. Mostly men, some athletes for sure. A few individuals who had issues with steroids, which was interesting, especially given my background with powerlifting, because once again, it's you can relate, and I think that's where you make the most impact the fastest is when you understand where someone's coming from. Aside from that, yeah, it's basically I will work with anyone. It's just those select populations I'm more drawn to and feel the most comfortable with.
Yeah, right. With your lived experience. I mean, that's super powerful, especially I can just imagine in the weightlifting world that there is, a lot of kind of like hidden addiction in there because, especially I feel like athletes and power lifters, I know for me with weightlifting, I'm like all in, right? I'm just like, and it's kind of an addiction in itself. Like it's like you can call it a healthy outlet, but sometimes I'd be going like, you know what I mean? I get a little like obsessed with it, right? Like, no, have to go again, have to burn this many calories, have to, lift, this many sets or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like our minds in the weightlifting world already are kind of like attuned toward addiction.
Yeah, I think it too, it can become a cross addiction. That's like something I had to be really careful with, especially early in recovery, how much time I was actually spending in the gym. Was I pushing myself too hard? Was I doing 2 a days? Things like that, where I didn't need to. And it's like, okay, I had to check myself. And fortunately, my wife used to be a personal trainer. Now she's in the medical field, but she did a great job with that with me in terms of being like, all right, we can go for an hour, but that's going to be it, and just kind of limiting my time and making sure I wasn't going to that point where it became an issue.
Yeah, she had to regulate you.
Yeah, oh, for sure, definitely.
Wives are good at that. We'd be throwing out the regulation, the authority. And so you have children, right?
I have one child, yeah.
One.
Yep, he was born on Thanksgiving. Well, yeah, Thanksgiving Day, this last year. So since we last talked, and I stay at home with him during the day, and then I work on writing and coaching at night.
Awesome. So, okay, tell everybody about your book.
Okay, so my book is basically it's all the stories I've told and then some. It's called My Life with Karma, and it's my recovery memoir. It became a bestseller Easter Sunday of last year on Amazon, so that was very cool. And yeah, it's helped over 1,300 people in recovery, so pretty sweet deal. I also keep it sale priced for everyone. The ebook is only 99 cents, and then the paperback is $9.99. Basically, I don't want there to be financial barriers. If someone wants to pick up my book, I want them to have it.
Right, right. And so, okay, so became a bestseller last Easter,
Yep.
which is like really cool. And then you had your baby, or you had your baby first.
Let's see. When does Easter fall? Is that before or
April.
after?
It's
Okay,
April.
so baby came in November. Yep.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
So that's a pretty big year for you, Travis. I mean, you had best-selling book and a new baby.
Yeah, exactly. So it's been kind of a whirlwind, but awesome overall. And then a lot of speaking engagements came after the book became a bestseller and just really kept me busy.
That is super awesome. Rebecca, the book is, he said you can get it on Amazon, right? The ebook.
Yeah, Amazon, Walmart, Barnes and Noble, basically anywhere books are sold.
And what's up, Ty? The book, the picture of the book is actually on the thumbnail. So whenever this goes up, you guys will be able to find it on the thumbnail. But let's put it in the chat. So you said Amazon.
Yep.
Amazon, Walmart. Where else?
Barnes and Noble.
Okay. And it's called My Life with Karma, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
My Life with Karma by Travis Sackett. And like I said, you guys, it's on the thumbnail. So, but I'm gonna put it in the chat anyway, where you can get it from. And it's Karma. There we go. Awesome.
Very cool.
So
Thank
yeah,
you.
you guys definitely look. Let's show some support to Travis. Let's grab his book, and I already have my copy, so make sure you guys get the April. I'll text it to you. So Rebecca said thank you. Martin says great work on doing the book. Congratulations. Oh, tell them about your other cool job you have.
Okay, so I also write for Recovery Today magazine. And I just had an issue. Well, the July issue just dropped like 2 days ago, and I interviewed Tom Farley, the brother of the late actor Chris Farley, and about his recovery. So
Wow.
yeah, so pretty
That's
sweet.
really cool.
Yeah, it was really awesome. Tom was incredible, very open, very just genuine, and he gave me 2 hours of his time, which was also great because it gave me so much content to work with. So yeah, I really enjoyed interviewing him, and I'm looking for my next big interview.
Okay. That's pretty
Yeah.
awesome too. um Rebecca says, recovery today. What is this magical thing that you speak of?
Okay, so it's a free magazine. All you have to do is go to recoverytodaymagazine.com and then you can download it. It's also an app, and I believe they've ventured into some video clips as well and some other things that they offer. So I would definitely check out the app. I actually just downloaded it a few days ago on my phone. So
That's awesome. Is there any like community, or is it just like reading and videos?
I think reading and videos for now, and then one thing they do share is sober birth dates. So if you get involved, definitely drop your sober birth date, and it will get printed in the magazine, which is cool.
Wow, that's awesome. Yes. You guys, we have to do that.
Yeah,
we're
for
gonna we're
sure.
gonna bombard you with sober birthdays. Oh my goodness. Let's see. Rebecca says, I have a friend named Karma. Rebecca, are you being sarcastic? Let's see. Lucille. Let's see. Lucille says that's great. Rebecca is downloading it now. Awesome. Do you
Very nice.
know?
Thank you.
Yeah, so it is. Oh, she said no. She's serious. Really, her name really is Karma. I wonder. I need to know the backstory with her parents, like if that's really her name. So is it what on Google Play, on Apple?
Yeah, so Google Play, Apple, basically wherever you get your apps, you'll be able to find it.
Cool. And it's just Recovery Today.
Recovery Today magazine. I think I'm not sure if you put Recovery Today in, if that will get it to you, or if that will bring up like a whole bunch of recovery stuff. Um, so yeah.
Cool. Let me see. I'm trying to find my my app store. App store. See if we can find it on here. Do you guys have any more Karma Wells hippies?
Gotcha.
Well,
Okay.
that makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so hold on.
So I have
Recovery.
a karma story real quick.
Oh, tell us, tell us.
So basically my life with karma is actually, the title is based on the dog that I rescued when I got into recovery. Um, at the time, I really didn't relate that well with people, especially coming from dignitary protection. Like, I was taught to view people as a threat. So when I got into recovery and there was all this sharing and everything, I was like, whoa, this is tough for me. So I ended
Mhm.
up rescuing a dog and I named her Karma. And she became like my own recovery soundboard. Like, I would take her for mile-long walks and just basically tell on myself and be like, hey, I'm having this craving. Hey, this is what's going on in my life. And she never judged and just loved me unconditionally. So that's
Yes.
how Karma came into my life.
Wow, that is a super cool story. What kind of dog was it?
She was a boxer.
Aw,
Yep.
cool. That's
Yeah, super
awesome.
awesome.
Let's see. Well, does anybody else have any questions where we can find? Let me see. Sign in to author. This is transaction. Oh, gotta put my password in. So tell us about, do you have any plans for any like new things that you're gonna be
So
doing?
yeah, I'm actually working on a second book, and it's the true story of an original member of the Latin Kings. So I'm, yeah, changing base a little bit, from recovery, and I'm going to focus on telling his story and talking more about gang life and kind of how he got involved and how that transpired.
Wow, that'll be an awesome one too.
Yeah, for
There's
sure.
definitely a lot of people who are, who were were in gangs, you know what I mean, who have like so many just incredible stories of like redemption and like changing their life and stuff. So that'll be a really good one. Um link link the app. Let's see. You said it's in Apple and Google Play, right?
Yup, for sure.
Let me see. See if I can figure out um
Yeah,
recovery.
I'm sorry. I'm absolutely no help when it comes to technology.
Which is crazy because you would think Recovery Today magazine. Okay. Do install. Okay, can you guys see this? This is what it looks like on Google Play. 10,000 downloads. Open. Okay, awesome. So yeah, you guys can get it from your Google Play Store, on Apple. They have all these. Oh, there's a whole bunch of them. Wow. This is really cool. Tom Arnold, did you do that
Yeah,
one?
thank you.
Holy
No,
smokes,
I
that
didn't.
is
I
so
wish.
cool. Oh, you didn't.
Yeah, I wish I would have wrote that one. That'd be fun.
Yeah, that would be so cool. Kathy Ireland. Wow. So you guys have some big names on here. One day when I get famous, I'm going to be on here too.
Oh, let me write it, please.
Okay. You got it. You got it. We're going to do
Okay,
it.
sweet. Thank you. Yeah, love it.
Dino says God works in mysterious ways. Erica Jean, I used to have a boxer, great dogs. Rebecca got the app. Awesome. You guys make sure you put in your sober birthdays. Okay. I'm gonna remind you next time me and Sonia go on live, you guys make sure we are doing that. I'll have Sonia get it too. So that'll be really fun for us to all do together. For our community and stuff, putting in our sober birthdays.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. And the whole point with that is to show others that, we do recover. Like that's why they do it. My buddy JR actually does the sober birthdays. So he wants to be busy. So make him busy, make him work.
Yes. Make him work. Yes. Lucille, you're already famous. Aw, I'm famous in God's eyes. All right. Well, do you guys have anything else? If you guys don't have anything else, then we're gonna get off here. Thank you, Travis, for coming and sharing some really vulnerable stuff and giving us some really cool recovery tools.
Oh, for sure. Thank you again for having me on. I mean, I love interfacing with you. It's so much fun. It's so easy. So thank you for being an awesome hostess.
And yes, we will, Martin, me and Sonia are going to be on Monday at 7. So yeah, we need to get you on schedule to come on with us. So I'll talk to her about that and I'll message you. So
awesome. Sounds good. Awesome. Love it.
Well, you guys have a great night. We are going to get off here. Make sure if you guys didn't get the information about the book and about the app, just message me or put it in the comments and we'll be going through them. So you guys have a great night and we will see you next time. And you guys will definitely see Travis again.